Good morning, honey. Well, I know wives are supposed to look their best for their husbands at breakfast, but how best can you get?
I'm going to that hospital benefit at your boss's house this afternoon.
Oh? Nothing like being ready in time.
I wanted you to see what I'm wearing. Is it all right?
Fine. Just fine.
Is that all you can say?
Well, what do you want, honey? Poetry?
You like more tailored things, don't you?
Thank you.
More the Natalie Deacon type.
Oh, now, honey, let's not get on that Natalie kick again, huh?
Well, some people look better in tailored things than others. I couldn't wear a uniform, for instance. She must have looked stunning in hers, in all that London fog while you and she were being blitzed.
And they never blitzed in a fog. You look better in a dress than anybody ever looked in a uniform. In a kitchen apron, you'd still be the prettiest girl at the hospital benefit. And that outfit's beautiful.
Good. Anything's easier if you're properly dressed for it.
Easier? Is this a party or an ordeal?
Well, you know what I mean. They're all people you know.
This makes them difficult?
Well, they're not the kind I ever met until I married you. Your friends are either awfully rich or terribly important. And they're all so sure of themselves.
Oh, dear. Will you be photographed enjoying a cup of somebody or other's tea in the interest of charity?
Why, of course, Mrs. Oliphant.
It's so nice to see a new face, and such a pretty one, as this circus.
Right here, please, accepting the cup.
This is Hope Foster, Natalie Deacon.
How do you do?
Hope's husband, John, is in Stu's office.
John Foster? Was your husband in London during the war?
I don't
yes,
believe...
he was, Nat. Know him?
Very well.
In fact, Miss Deacon is one of his oldest friends.
Would you smile, please? Thank you very much.
I've often wondered what happened to Johnny.
Well, for one thing, he got married.
That doesn't mean his life's over. Who takes marriage seriously nowadays?
Wives,
Is Johnny as dashing as ever?
dozing's more the word. Settle down, you know. Diets all day and dozes all evening. He's probably dozing right now where he's waiting for me. I mustn't keep him.
Hope, be a lamb. We've got to have help with the modeling.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Oliphant, but I promised John I'd meet him at Wee Lung's Limehouse at exactly...
Oh, I know John. He'd never mind your being a little late for charity. Excuse us, Ned?
By all means.
Wait till you see the Paris original.
No, really, Mrs. Oliphant, I was just telling Natalie Deacon. Where's she going?
I've no idea.
Well, I have. Oh, please excuse me. I can't possibly model now.
I've told you you're the only fresh face around here, and I won't take no for an answer.
Hi, honey.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for sending Nat.
Did she say
Hope didn't have to ask me to come. I was curious to see you after her description.
Made nice waiting. We had a lot to talk about.
I'll bet.
Remember that little N in Hempstead?
Do I? And that soggy Yorkshire pudding.
Roast beef. Mr. Egbert cut me a special roast beef, and I promised to pick it up before he closes. Sorry to have to rush off like this.
But surely, but just a roast beef?
Hope's cooking is really her hobby. Say, why don't you come out for dinner one of these nights?
Love to. If it's all right with you people, Tuesday would be perfect.
Tuesday? Well, I don't think Tuesday. That's the night of your meeting.
Oh, I can skip that. Tuesday it is.
Here's to it. Cheers.
She practically told me a wife wouldn't stand in her way.
Are you sure this was a big romance he had with her?
Mike knows it was.
Oh, well, he wouldn't say, naturally. You know how men stick together. I'm surprised John told you.
Oh, he didn't tell me. Just dropped little things at different times. I put them together.
You're not basing this whole thing on intuition.
Of course not. It's a letter. Found it in his dresser drawer last week.
Johnny, where are you? I don't care what's happened, what's changed. I haven't. I'm going to find you, darling.
I don't want to hear it.
This thing certainly followed him around a lot of places. Postmarked just a couple of months ago.
From Paris. She must mean an awful lot to him for him to have kept her letter.
Or so little he just forgot all about it.
She'll use every trick she knows, and I'll bet she's forgotten more than Cleopatra used on Anthony.
She won't succeed.
You don't think so?
Of course not. She hasn't got a chance.
I'm more what he wants, you mean. The kind he'll be happier with.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's economic. John isn't making enough to support a dame like that and pay you alimony, too.
She's rich.
Oh, that makes a difference.
She's like all the people he used to run around with. Important, sophisticated, and if that's the type he likes...
Oh, he married you.
I'm fighting fire with fire. Hear this. Fillets of pompano, crisp and golden. Wine-soaked lamb with asparagus green beneath yellow hollandaise. That's what we're having for dinner. With crepe Suzettes.
Sure glad Mike and I are invited. Have you ever made crepe Suzette?
I've never even eaten them.
Well, hadn't you better have something you know how to cook?
Carolyn, I've got to make them think I've been around, too.
But you haven't.
But this meal will make them think I know how to do things. We start with oblongs of anchovy fluted with egg.
How do you flute an egg?
Don't change the subject.
Oh, Mike, you haven't changed a bit.
Isn't it great, the three of us being together again?
Four, dear. I'm Carolyn.
How do you do? Mike's been telling me.
How nice, Natalie. Did you find the trip long?
Who's that?
You gonna fight a bull?
Fight one? I'm not even mad at one.
She could put one of those hoops in her nose and be one. What have you done to yourself?
That's my boy. Always ribbing.
Who's ribbing? I want to know why she's got tights on.
I do an acrobatic act right after dinner.
Did you ever see it fail? Every time you put on anything the least bit out of the ordinary.
Well, Hope never wears anything out of the ordinary. That's one of the things that I like.
Men.
I'm not allergic to them.
One can see that. Pardon me? As if I'd be missed. Want me to kill Mike?
John laughed at me in front of her.
What does he know about clothes? Natalie was impressed. Come on. Anyone for order?
Ooh, they look delicious.
That fluting certainly improves the flavor. Where is it?
It didn't flute. John, dear, will you pour?
Okay. You like clam juice, Nat?
These are martinis.
Martinis? Since when are you serving hard liquor around here?
How do you know the drinks weren't hard before? Did you ever feel them?
If I had known, I'd help you make them. Well, here's...
Here's to it.
Yeah, I'll make up another batch.
Wait. Who made the best martinis in all of merry old England?
Our girl, Nat.
Right. 10-10.
To the kitchen, please.
And away we go.
Let's get
I could learn to hate her, too.
Everything's starting all wrong.
Oh, well, unlax, girl. Wait till they get started on that dinner. What's the matter?
I can't sit down.
Don't be silly. They can't be that skin tight.
But they are.
Well, you can't stand up all during dinner.
Who says I can't? gather up the cups and saucers and the silver and put them over there. This has just become a buffet dinner.
So I looked, and I saw these two fellas disappearing around a corner. And there I was, standing in the middle of a street in London.
Are you sure it's your husband had this big romance with her?
Do you think he's
Oh, he's too smart to fall for any lines she might give him. He goes overboard for it because he's still in love with her.
Oh, I did this all wrong. My hollandaise tasted like lemon filling, and if that's the way crepe Suzettes are supposed to be, I'd rather have buckwheat cakes. I should have been myself. Young, athletic, the loathsome, wholesome type. Carolyn, that's it. Loathsome, athletic. I can ski and skate and ride. My tennis isn't bad, and you know I swim well.
Which one are you planning to do in the living room?
Idiot. We're going to talk about them. If there's one thing that'll take a man's mind off a woman, it's sports. Come on.
Oh, but you know what was really great was...
Oh, here, honey. Hey, you know you haven't sat down once all evening?
Oh, I'd rather stand.
Oh?
Who needs rest when you're as young and athletic as Hope? By the way, how is your tennis?
You been playing any lately, Nat? Remember how she took the singles champ at Lady Claire's?
Oh, do I? And we both bet against her.
I suppose you ride a lot. Hope's an expert horsewoman.
Ride? You ought to see this girl take a horse over hurdles.
Tell us about the time she swam the channel.
Not me. I hate the water.
Really? Oh, we love it. All four of us. We spent our vacations together last summer at Lake Winnenesket. Remember the time we swam across it?
You mean the day you did? I tuckered out. Hope's a sensational swimmer.
Not half as good as you. Anybody can get a cramp.
And you all like Lake Winnenesket?
John particularly.
Well, the reason I ask is I have a cottage up there. If you're all so fond of it, why don't you come up next weekend?
We couldn't possibly do that. You see, well, John...
Hope and I have plans for the weekend.
Well, scrap them.
Well, heck yes. We couldn't pass up an opportunity like this. Consider we've accepted.
Good. With Hope being such a champion swimmer, she's bound to enjoy it.
Sorry dinner was such a bust.
No, it was fine, honey.
No, it wasn't. You can tell me the truth.
Well, you have cooked better ones.
I'm sorry you didn't like my outfit.
No, it was cute. Different.
Too different, wasn't it?
Well, I have seen you in things that were more becoming. Well, honey, what's the matter?
What you just said.
What did I say?
That you hate my cooking and I look like a freak.
I said that? No, that couldn't be it. You're just worn out from spending all day in the kitchen. I know how to fix that. You won't have any dinner to get for me tomorrow night. I have to work late, so I'll eat dinner in town.
And he didn't come home for dinner again.
So he stayed downtown 2 nights in a row.
3.
Well, it's possible there is extra work to do.
You think John really has been at the office?
I just said he could be. If it were Mike, I'd go downtown tonight and find out.
No, that'd be the worst thing. I listen to Marjorie's Marriage every morning on the radio, and when she had a situation like this, That gives me an idea.
You had some other ideas.
She never let her husband know she was suspicious. She used wiles, clever ruses. And the first thing I'm going to see to is that John doesn't get up there with Natalie in all that pine-scented moonlight. John?
Oh? Honey, what are you doing up?
I'm not up. I'm down. I have a terrible cold
Then why aren't you in bed?
because I wanted to wait up.
I'm sorry, darling. Do you ache?
All over.
You gurgle, too.
This gurgled. Dot B.
I'll call Dr. Wesley.
Oh, no, don't do that. I've already called him. He said just to get plenty of rest and quiet.
Then you won't be able to go to the lake tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Will it spoil your weekend?
No, of course not. I'd rather you were along, but if you can't make it...
You'd go without me?
I have to, honey. I guess you forgot. Your folks are coming into town for the weekend. You told them they could stay here. It works out fine. Your mother can take care of you.
You want to go?
Yes, I do.
It's silly to decide things tonight. Tomorrow I might feel like $1 million.
I don't care if you feel like 10 million. If the doctor said you'd have rest and quiet, you'll have it.
I will? Sorry.
Well, I should think you would be. Mike's never this romantic in town.
Say, how did you get here? Weren't you sick?
No.
What?
No.
Yes. Where are they? Oh, first let me...
Nat and John? Out on the lake.
What? In the pine-scented moonlight. Mike, please leave us alone. There are some things I have to say.
Well, I've never been able to stop you yet. Why now?
Well, you wouldn't understand.
If anyone cares to explain it to me, I'll be in bed.
Oh, now, ho.
I couldn't stand it, Carolyn, sitting home with him and her here. So I got to thinking, and I came up with a plan that...
You can think too much. Why make things so difficult? John's a right guy. Wouldn't it be simpler just to be honest? Tell him you're worried and why. Then just have a man-to-man talk with him.
I'm not a man, and I don't want to end up the ex-Mrs. Foster. I want to avoid a break, not cause one. Even if he's going for Natalie, he can still change his mind if I don't force him to take a definite stand. Now, here's what I'm going to do.
You made other plans, and look what happened.
What's happened?
Oh, nothing like you mean.
He's just treating her like any old friend?
Of course. What else is he going to do in front of Mike and me? But what's he going to think when you suddenly turn up in the middle of the night? He'll know you're checking.
I've got it all figured out. First, my mother has a marvelous cold remedy.
Whose mother hasn't?
And I felt so good I didn't want to miss the fun. Fun, see? I'm going to be the life of the party. I came up here for the laughs and the swimming. I'm gay. I'm nonchalant. I'm so sure of myself and my husband that I don't even care that Natalie's after him.
Hope!
How'd you get here?
Oh, how did you? And why are you crying?
Crying? Who's crying? My mother cured my cold, and I felt so good I didn't want to miss the fun, so I came up to laugh and swim and be nonchalant.
Honey, you're not fooling me.
I'm not.
I know why you came.
Oh,
You were afraid I'd worry about you and spoil my weekend.
you think that?
Even though your cold's making you miserable, you were going to be a good sport and...
Don't be nice to me. I don't deserve it. I'm not a good sport. I'm not even an honest woman. I mean, I didn't have a cold. I just pretended that so we wouldn't have to come up here.
Why in the...
Because I didn't want to tell you the truth. All my clever ruses turned out like my hollandaise. I didn't want you to know I was suspicious and just plain green jealous.
I have to talk to you about Natalie.
She's still in love with you, isn't she?
I didn't know you knew.
I saw that letter.
Letter?
That Johnny, where are you one.
Oh, that. Yeah, she has an idea we can take up where we left off in London. I feel like a prize heel.
You can't help it if...
There just isn't any kind way to tell a girl you love somebody else.
You just have to say it, I guess.
Yeah. That's the way I figure. Being honest is kindest. A sharp knife hurts less. So that's what I did.
I won't make any problems. I'll just... You did?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I told her, straight. That's why I wanted to come up here. Honey, I have a confession to make. I lied, too. I didn't have to work all those nights last week.
Oh, that doesn't matter now.
I just told Nat I had to, so I wouldn't be available.
You weren't... You didn't even...
Well, for Pete's sake. Why are you crying now?
Because I know where you are, darling. You're here.